We're the voices of experiencers, and we are the experiencers of extraterrestrials. Just what's out there in the abyss, in the darkness of the unknown. It's time for disclosure and it's time for truth, because what lies in the darkness brings powerful transformation. We're the bridge between two different worlds, with one foot in this reality and one in the next. The shift is here, along with profound integration. Just who are extraterrestrials and what are their plans? It's time to find out with the Voices of Contact.
We are the voices of experiencers because we are the experiencers. It's time for disclosure and it's time for truth, because truth brings powerful transformation, and we are the voices of change. We are all about evolution on an expansive level, living life without fear and becoming the bridge between two different realities. Profound evolution is here. Profound integration is here. This is the Voices of Contact. Hi, everyone. I'm Mary. I'm a channeler and psychic medium. I'm also a hypnosis regressionist for ET experiencers, and I work with MUFON doing regression work. I also work with PTSD experiencers, paranormal experiencers, and victims of crime to assist them in recall. I'm really looking forward to another amazing show with our panel tonight, where we delve deep to find out what's happening beyond the stars. Thank you all for joining us as we take an extensive dive into the whole new reality. There is so much more out there than we realize, and until now, we have only scratched the surface. Come with us as we explore the darkness of the universe and shed some light on the extraterrestrial experience. Disclosure is here. Now, allow me to introduce some of my most favorite people who are part of tonight's panel. First, there's Deb and RJ DeRoos. They're authors, paranormal and UFO researchers, and they're experiencers themselves. They're founders of the Michigan UFO Contact that happens every year in Houghton Lake, Michigan at the end of September. And they're also owners and managers of Mystical Awakenings Radio, Mystical Awakenings Vodcast on YouTube, and of the Mystical Awakenings Metaphysical Store in Houghton Lake, Michigan. Next, we have Deb Jordan Cobble, aka Deb 2. She was the central figure in Bud Hopkins' international bestseller, Intruders, The Incredible Visitations at Copley Woods, which was made actually into a CBS miniseries in 1992. She's co-author of the book Abducted, The Story of the Intruders Continues, and author of Extraordinary Contact, Life Beyond Intruders. She's a former Indiana MUFON investigator and co-founder of her own paranormal group, Paranormal Underground. And she also hosts the Midwest Paratalk podcast with co-founder Greg Cable. And then we have Dana Stricker. She's a born psychic medium, and she has been reading professionally since the age of 15. And while she excels in her psychic and mediumship ability, Dana is also known for her exceptional skills in remote readings. And she's also known and very well established as a medical intuitive. She has also discovered that extraterrestrials now assist her with this special ability. She reads professionally worldwide and has worked nationwide on numerous missing person cases. With the amazing panel that we have tonight, I know that anything is possible and that we are going to get deep down into discovery and find answers to what is really going on out there. This show is all about transmutating the light from the dark and replacing fear with knowledge. Because with knowledge comes true power. And through my regression work, I have come across amazing cases with fascinating clients. And it is my honor to work with them to help them have a better understanding of the contact they've had. Whether they were taken, have had contact in the physical realm, or through a dream state, we're here just to find answers. I'm blessed that my clients have agreed to allow me to use the regressions on the Voices of Contact. And tonight, this is the place to be, because the panel breaks down my clients' experiences, providing powerful feedback. And I love it because all the listeners get to connect and learn. I get to learn, and the person that was regressed walks away even more immersed in their experience with a whole new perspective on their contact. So literally, it's a win-win, right? This is the Voices of Contact. Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Mary. Hi,
Hi.
Dana. Hi, Deb.
How are you guys?
good to see you again.
So good to see everybody. Hope you had a good week.
Try
Friday.
to, anyway.
Went quick.
That went quick, yeah, for sure.
It did. Winter's
Quick
not
as a
over
whistle.
yet.
Or is that slick as a whistle? It's slick as a whistle. Never mind. Not quick as a whistle.
Yeah, hopefully winter will be over soon. Ugh,
Yeah, it
I
was
know,
cold
I am
last week.
over it. Ugh.
it's been a rough winter.
Yeah,
It
it
has.
has.
Yeah.
You see all the snow out here. You couldn't believe it. It's snowing right now. It snows every.
I have a little bit of snow here,
Got
but
it
not
again.
much.
We got our little
I
baby
never hear it.
friend back.
It has to
Yeah.
be something here,
No,
and I
it's
just
not.
don't. I'm just not
Maybe they're
hearing
just in the room with you.
it. Oh well,
Maybe it's your hot
Okay.
and funky UFO machine thing.
what?
No, it's actually something. It's definitely
That
coming
box
from.
that you have that goes off when there's something happening.
Oh no, boo, trust me.
Maybe it's sending a subliminal.
If that thing went off, I mean, it's like somebody screaming in the microphone. You'd all
It's
be
been
dead.
going off a lot though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Compared to like,
I had it for like a year and a half and didn't do anything, and I thought, man, this is a waste of money. I'm glad I didn't pay for it. I mean, they're expensive, but they gave it to me to hold. It's not actually mine. They gave it to me to put here in my house, and I think that the idea was kind of like to use me as bait,
right.
And it was here for like a year and a half and didn't do nothing. I'm like, does this thing even work? Hello. And then all of a sudden, bam, it's going off all the time now, ever since the drone thing started. No, I don't know what the connection is, if there even is any, but about that same time frame is when this thing started going off. And
That's
I have
interesting.
had some weird things happen in the house here lately that I haven't had for a long time. So something is up.
Yeah.
Faux show. Yeah.
They're showing up.
So
It's
far,
very
I don't
sweet.
have that happening, and that's okay. I'll listen to you. Tell me about yours.
It's a good thing we don't live close together, though, because a lot of people that actually live close to me and that hang out with me a lot, it's like contagious.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah, there's actually even a word for it, and I can't remember what it is now.
Note to self: do not get
Stay
room
away
next to
from-
her at UFOCon.
Stay away from Deb.
Stay away from Deb.
I should have a
Association.
T-shirt that says "I'm contagious." I have one that says I have one that says "feral." I need one that says "I'm."
That's
contagious.
what I was hoping you were gonna wear this week, was the feral one.
Oh yeah, no.
But alas.
I've got my Voices of Contact T-shirt on.
Okay,
but
we'll have that one works.
It's
Need
starting
new
to fall
ones,
apart
Mike.
and get all crumbly. So I need a new one, y'all.
We will. We will, because we're on
The
episode
place
80.
that we had those made went out of business. So now we have to find someplace else.
For anything, I guess.
We'll get some.
Well, I'm excited about this new one. I mean, this next one. I remember
I know,
last
me
week,
too.
and I want to hear the deets that you
Yes.
got now, Mary.
We
Yeah,
want the
well,
rest of
you
the
know,
story.
It's just like that little refresher. That last clip, he found himself, in an office type room, and then a military type person came in, recruiting him for like a special military program. So this week picks up right where we left off there. And so in this very first clip, it talks about, he's young, he's impressionable, and he's impressed and he's flattered because they're saying all these nice things about him. And then my biggest question is okay, so that's great. Like he's super excited about all the things that are being said to him. But how did he even get there in that room in the first place? Because he didn't know how he got there. All he
Right.
knows is he was in an office at a desk and the office was locked.
Hmm.
So are we going to find that out?
Yes.
Okay.
Right here.
You're gonna tease us again and then be like,
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened. Okay.
You know I'm a clip piece.
She's good at it.
I can
don't know.
so embellish that, but this is
I know.
a adult, not adult show that makes it worse.
Everybody has to have a
Kids look
purpose.
away. Kids look away.
Send the children from the room.
Oh boy.
Doing this to serve your country and the world. I'm all very impressed, flattered, you know. Sure, sign me up, right?
Did you choose to be recruited?
I mean, no, at that young age, I didn't know what was going on. This was like, you know, something happened like almost like another life, you know. You don't remember, but unless you're there.
Ask them how you got into that room.
You know, they come physically, they take you, you know, at night. Take you and take you into their ship and to wherever we're at. It's not clear to me. On a ship or on a planet or what.
And so what happens next?
I sign up.
So when you sign up, how is it that nobody that you're close to knows that you're gone? Close to.
Yeah.
Well,
That's always been something I want to know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've asked that before too. And I feel like the answer is because time isn't real.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a way. These people that I've heard talking that were in the program that when they leave and when they come back, it's like they didn't miss a beat.
It's like 1 second and nobody
Yeah.
notices, but they could be gone for a week or a month or a year
Yeah.
because time's not real.
I can say that, we know somebody who spent years saying that when he slept, he was at war. He would do battles. Who's that? I can't say on the air. And then he would wake up and sometimes have bruises or soreness or, things, physical issues. But he didn't have a clue what was really happening. So I'm wondering now, I've always kind of poo-pooed this whole theory, because you know how I am with theories. Everything has one. But, it could be...
I know what you're thinking, Dana. I could hear it, so stop.
It could be only when they're sleeping. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're taking the consciousness out and putting in a different avatar and
Oh, yeah.
But why would he wake up with physical issues?
Well, I know some people who are, spiritual warriors, and in their sleep, they astral travel and go to other places and fight certain battles.
Right. And that's what this person talked about. But now I'm wondering, was that a human spiritual battle? Or was it something like this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything's possible.
I think our bodies are connected to our energy and our soul or whatever. And I think if something happens to our energy when we're not in our body, when we come back, we've brought that dent or whatever, that where we were touched, that we bring that back. Honestly, I really feel like that. And you know what? I mean, like when I had that dream about the helicopter and the big bright light hitting me when I'm looking up, and then I woke up and my neck was wrecked. You know, I mean, that maybe could be a couple different explanations for that, but you know, I do feel like that we, you know, maybe we even do physically go
Yeah.
somewhere else
In
because
this case,
we're just vibrating molecules, and if something shifts around us, we've changed the speed that we vibrate in, and nobody can see us anymore, but we're still there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So why can't you go somewhere else with all of your molecules, but you're vibrating at a different speed? You know, one time I remember in being in my mom's kitchen, and all of a sudden, uh, it felt like the world slowed down suddenly. It wasn't a dizzy spell. It wasn't, you know, anything like that. It wasn't a dizzy spell. It was really strange. I literally had to hold on to the kitchen counter to hold on because I was going faster than the world around me.
right.
And I had to hold on to the kitchen counter or I was going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I had to ground myself in that space. You know what I mean? Uh, so maybe it's something like that.
Well, you
I
know,
wouldn't mind going somewhere else right now.
My brain is like,
about
I-
2015 is when I
You?
started, listening to these guys that were talking about it. And I think it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've heard anybody talk about it. But there is another element to this, and it has something to do with what you're talking about, Deb, about that physically we're there. And I can't remember what it is. I'll have to go back and figure it out. But the way they do it, they were talking about there's definitely a way they can do it. I mean, they can take you out for 20 years, bring you back, and something. It's like it never happened. But some people, and they try to get rid of your memory of it. But some people
are hard headed.
are hard-headed and they start remembering. So, and there's one guy right in Michigan here about, down by Lansing, Mary, that not too far from here, that he claims he was in that. His name is Rodriguez. So,
It's fully possible. I mean, how many times, have you meditated and then when you were done meditating felt like you were on a different plane where just everything looked the same, but something was just different?
Dana.
I think I woke up and I'm in the wrong timeline right now, and I want to go home.
Yeah.
There's a reason we're in this timeline, though. You got to figure out what that is.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
There is. But yeah, I totally get that. And I agree with you, Mary. We go so many places during meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And Deb, I've had that feeling of,
Have you?
it's like, it's weird because almost like someone put the brakes on everything,
Yeah.
but your brain is still
And I'm not
going
dizzy.
and you're
It's
trying
not
to
like
figure it out.
vertigo or something like that. No, it's completely
It's
different.
just almost like a whole different reality.
Yeah. You're the first person I've ever met that said they understood what I was talking about.
Mhm.
No, I get
Go
what you're
figure.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it comes with the name Deb.
Well, a lot of us poo-hoo it off to being dizzy, and a lot of us poo-hoo it off to being just some kind of a, whatever, and it's not.
No, it isn't. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what this dude is doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So hopefully we're going to hear more and put the pieces together more, and it'll make sense.
Yeah, well, for this
Yeah.
next one, he gets more into why people don't realize that he's gone.
Okay.
They have some advanced technologies that I don't know if they manipulate time or what, or clone you, but you end up living that life and then being put back this same night.
So
But
it's
yeah, it's like you've lived two lives or something.
like parallel lives, and one they speed up the time.
Or they physically can, I don't know, they physically can regress you back to that age, or they have create a clone of you at that age and transfer your consciousness back, or who knows how they do it.
Okay. So on the count of three, we're going to move forward just a little bit to your first significant event in this military. On the count of three, we're going to be there. 1, 2, 3.
Ta-da!
And here we are.
So,
Changing the knobs.
the clone thing makes sense. To transfer part of the consciousness to, a clone being to hold
Yeah.
space. But, really, I connected more with the idea of a parallel universe where time just gets sped up.
Mm-hmm.
This time slows down, this time speeds up. So when it's time to bring you back, you're just there.
Yeah, just there, yeah.
And one time I read something about parallel universes and that paradox and the grandfather thing and all that stuff. But what I read was that in each universe, the timeline is slightly different. So you really can't mess up your timeline, because when you go somewhere, you're actually in a different timeline. So, but
Right.
it seems, but it's sometimes so subtle, there's the changes, you don't even notice it. That's why I feel like I'm in the wrong timeline now. But I'm noticing some things, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, that's, my brain goes to all these different, I don't know why I'm like this.
Well, mine does too. I mean, mine does too. And because you have to be open to all the possibilities. I mean, especially if there are different timelines that exist, and there, we know there are. We know that anything can happen. I mean, there's 100 ways something could happen, but it depends on what timeline you take to it. Mm-hmm. I heard that they've changed the timeline for us to keep us, the whole planet, so that we can eventually evolve. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. What was it?
Oh, anyway, it was something. Anyway, so that, it's giving us time to get this right. Get this change right, this evolution right. So
We better get on it.
Yeah.
Well, it takes time.
We don't have time, man.
I know. I mean, but it could have gone bad a long time ago. It could have gone bad. Second World War. I mean, they can drop bombs everywhere.
But we have it's not even about war. I mean, it is, but it's not. There's also a lot of seismic activity that on a daily basis, I'm walking down the hall and go sideways, and I can feel it in my feet. I know there's one coming. Sometimes I know where it's going to be, and sometimes I don't. But there's been way too much of that. So that makes me a little nervous as well.
Right. Well, there's so many times, I know for myself anyways, where, and people that come to us and say, I need a chakra balancing. I just don't feel connected to myself. But how often do we go through a day and you can't quite get that connection? It's like you're there, but you're not.
Start walking sideways.
So could you be at that moment living a parallel life, and like your consciousness is spread between 2 or 3 or whatever different lives, so it's hard to feel connected. Am I really insane?
Or you feel
anybody
disconnected
with that?
I've driven down the street before, come up to a stop sign, and I stop, but some knuckle dragger whips through the stop sign, runs, it completely blows the stop sign, and if I hadn't been paying attention, I would have been like smeared all over the road. And then this first thing that pops in my mind was, oh, I had a bad accident in another timeline just now.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? That's how my brain is wired. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you know what? Who's to say it's not possible? There's a line in a song. I like Billie Eilish. I don't know if you know who she is.
Yeah, I love Billie Eilish.
There's a line in one of her songs that says, "Where do we go when we sleep?" And it just jumped out at me when I heard it playing the song. I'm like, oh my God, the girl is so right. We go everywhere when we sleep.
We do. We can, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this body's just a little piece of who we are. And
if Mary can regress us, and we have proof that she can, so you're physically laying there, but you're seeing something and you're feeling something. You're literally someplace else with your consciousness.
I'm not an alien abductee. I'm a time traveler.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So there's proof in the pudding.
I'm a knuckle dragger.
What?
Hey, look, I got 275 different variants of Neanderthal in my genetic systems.
She said she's talking about the stop sign and some idiot knuckle dragger blows through the stop sign, and she knows in another timeline she had a bad accident there.
Yeah.
It was the description of the driver that she gave.
So that was you? You were dragging your knuckles? And
No. I am not a knuckle dragger that I know of.
I probably am in another timeline, actually.
Exactly, which is why you're able to speak the word without being insulting.
I am insulting, but
we all know the words that wanted to come out of her mouth.
Yeah, that was nice compared to what wanted to come out of my mouth. I'm just saying.
We have to remember Neanderthals had bigger brains than we did. So.
That's why I have such a big head. Seriously, I mean, I had to special order my cowboy hat from the Bonanza restaurant because my
I
head
have a
was too big.
Cro-Magnon head.
And I have 274 different Neanderthal variants in my DNA, and that's why they had to special order my cowboy hat from Bonanza.
Well, I mean, it's very possible. I mean,
God,
you have the DNA.
I have really ruined this entire conversation.
You
haven't, because I have a Cro-Magnon skull. I'm tall up here and long in the chin, like a Jay Leno. Almost like an alien skull, but not.
Like the skulls out in South America, yeah.
So I'm taller back here than I am up here.
Get that.
Because I'm hot.
So we have all kinds of species right here on the show. I love it.
So basically, he says they manipulate time. They have machines that do that.
Yeah, there's a technology that's involved.
And I've seen this technology in the form of a black box. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And that's why they wouldn't let me keep it, because they knew I'd really wreck some stuff up if I did.
Right.
You're very smart.
I'm telling you.
So for this next clip, you crack me up.
Where did you find this crew?
We moved to like the first significant like military experience that he remembers.
We're there now. What's happening around you?
I feel like I'm in a classroom. I'm with lots of younger people my age.
What are you doing in the classroom?
I almost feel like they have some kind of device, some kind of headset on me. Something strapped on my head. Other people.
What is it doing?
It's some kind of telepathic trainer, I believe, that enhances and develops those abilities through program training, remote viewing, things like that. feels like that's how they use you when you're younger. Develop those abilities.
What do they have you remote view?
I don't know, like, looks like they have us reviewing some target, like some military target. I got a sense like it's on the moon or something, but I don't know. It's just some military target you're practicing to remote view, or maybe it's for real.
And so what happens
real.
next?
So my question, and I'm hoping, with his next regression he does, I'd like to see how well he's able to remote view. 'Cause you would think that even if he doesn't remember it consciously how to do it, he would remember how to subconsciously do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed with remote viewing.
Yeah.
And I think I've done it inadvertently, actually, spontaneously a few times. And I would love to learn how to control it and focus it, because I think I'd be pretty good.
I'm listening to a guy now. He's French, maybe French Canadian. He's got the accent, but he's a remote viewer that works with the government. But he's talking about the remote view of that pyramid in Alaska on the ground. Definitely alien technology, and it's interesting. I listened to that this morning. Matter of fact, very cool.
I am a remote viewer.
Yeah.
I was born a remote viewer.
Yeah.
That's how I work cases. Some of the cases I work, because they're in different states. I don't know how I do it. Just do it.
I know it just happens to me. I mean, I need to learn how to turn it on and turn it off so that I can actually use it for something purposeful. But
right,
I do it.
I'm a weirdo.
I'm weird too, sister.
I like weirdos.
Like it came out of my mother doing things that I thought everybody did, and
Same here.
Till later on, that guess not.
Yeah.
So that's enough, though. I don't need to know anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we were holding some classes here a couple of years back and trying to do a little remote viewing with people, and they did really well. I mean,
Most people probably
can.
can. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of, not everybody's going to do it spontaneously, or it's not going to be like, there's people that it's just like going through this motions of being a certified this or that, I guess. I'm not a certified psychic medium either. I don't get that, but this would be different. Like, I know there's a program that the FBI, CIA, somebody had, one of my friends went to, and actually went through the remote viewing thing with them on cases, old cases, and like they tested them and did this and that. And I don't think they have it anymore, but they did have it, and they did utilize those people for things.
They've got it. Trust me. They just don't. They spend a lot of money on it. They spend a lot of money on it.
I think that it's something that was done more openly, but I don't know why they stopped doing that. And I understand, yes, they probably still are doing it, or maybe they're not right now, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I think that's really interesting that they were bringing in people with abilities or known abilities to do it, to see where they were at, because they wanted to utilize that as part of investigative things.
Like I put like a word in an envelope, and then everybody was kind of passing around. They didn't know what it was. I put Mars on there. People were saying, I said, well, just write down. People write down red mountains and
interesting.
sunset. Yeah, it was like really cool.
Well, my mom was a weirdo, because when we were little kids and we played school, and remind you, I thought this is how you played school. I didn't know till I got in actual school. She had flashcards, right? But she would put them face down on the table and tell us kids to tell her which one is the circle, which one is, and which one is purple and stuff like that. And, we did it because we played school with my mom that way. But who the hell knows why she played school like that? And you can't ask her anymore because she's not here in physical form. But so my mom was a little weird.
Yeah, well,
My mom's still weird.
I'm glad my mom was.
Not so much like that anymore, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Did he say something about them had a headset that they used for training?
Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds familiar to me, but I don't know why.
And everybody else in the room had one too.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds really familiar to me, but I can't place where I have heard that or know that
I
from
wonder
before.
if they were sending certain frequencies through them, or they're all hearing the same thing, or I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, he said it was for a telepathic use.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
For this next one, he moves forward to like another experience in the military where he finds himself like on a shooting range and starts to describe some of the weapons that he's using.
Mm.
I believe you want to move me forward again.
Okay. We're going to move forward one more time. And on the count of 3, we're going to be there. 1, 2, 3. And we're there now. What's happening around you?
I feel like it's more training, like in some kind of a weapons range. Practice weaponry.
What do the weapons look like?
Seems like some really pretty cool, big energy, like plasma rifle, or almost bazooka. It's got a really big, wide muzzle, shoots out a thick blast. It's almost like a plasma cannon or something. It's like pretty awesome.
Is there anything else you notice?
Feels like it's winter, snowy, and kind of dressed with a coverall that's partially down, like a wintry coverall. It's flat, not real mountainy. It's like a range.
Okay. So we're going to drift a float away from that scene. And on the count of 3, we're going to move to when you were a child and a ship landed in your yard. And we're going to move to the next significant event, a contact after that moment. On the count of 3, we'll be there. 1, 2, 3. And we're there now. What do you notice around you?
I feel like I'm still a young kid, maybe a year or two older. I'm in my house, and it's night. I feel like I'm seeing lights flashing, different color lights coming in through the windows. I'm awake, but no one else is.
Where are the lights coming from?
I don't know, it's like pretty, it's kind of flashing through the house.
Are they inside the house or outside of the house?
They seem like they're outside.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do is walk to the window and look out the window and see where the lights are coming from. And look.
Wow. Yeah,
I
energy weapons.
remember this from before.
Yep. And so, and that one regression, he was taken as a young kid, and he was taken aboard like a smaller craft, and then taken to a large craft that it wasn't so much like a craft, but it was built like a city. So that's what he wanted to explore.
And that's when he went to the shooting range?
This is a new experience.
Oh, okay. I'm
He wanted
confused.
wanted to explore more because we really weren't getting any more out of
Okay.
military experience.
Yeah.
And then the next thing he wanted to explore was another time that was connected
Oh,
to when he was taken aboard that craft. And that one, he was taken to a room, and they were just checking him out, basically, like a medical exam, to see how he was growing and how he was feeling, to keep his body attuned with Earth, so to speak.
yeah. Yeah. I remember that now.
Mhm.
It was a video that came out, I want to say it was 2016, just as we were meeting. It showed what they called an energy weapon. And it's like a bazooka. The guy had it on his shoulder. And when he pressed the trigger or whatever the button, you didn't see anything coming out of it. But there was a car he was shooting at, and the tires went flat and the windows were blown out.
It was some kind of sound
Yeah.
that it wasn't it concentrated like a sound.
Yeah,
wave
sound wave
or
or something like that. Now that reminds me of the movie Dune. You see the movie Dune where they had that device. They would say a certain frequency into it, and it would shoot out a sound and kill you. So
Well, I've seen those videos where they have a fire lit, and then they have a machine that's all sound that puts the fire out.
yeah,
I'm telling you,
Well-
sound is so important when you live in a world that's nothing but vibration,
Right.
because it can
Yes.
change
Well,
everything.
that's what sound is.
yep. And they
It's
said that's how they
vibration.
moved the big blocks to build pyramids and stuff with sound.
And the difference between an ice cube and a glass of water is just how fast the water molecule is vibrating.
right, right.
Same deal with glass,
Yep.
So sound can be a deadly weapon, or it can heal.
Yeah,
So it can kill you, and then it can
Or then it
Depends on how
can
you use it,
rearrange
yeah.
your molecules and put you back together.
put you back together again.
Yeah.
The Humpty Dumpty syndrome. Oh.
unfortunately, our species likes to deal with weapons a lot. So
Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like we're not the only ones, though.
no, but
I wonder
I mean,
where we
it-
got the
it-
idea for that.
yeah, it's how we use technology
Yeah,
that
right.
what counts. We use it for weapons or use it for the betterment of everybody else.
I mean, because I've seen the things with the sound tests of, like a board with sand on it,
Yeah,
and then you hook the board up to Mozart, and the sound is gorgeous. Makes a gorgeous pattern in the sand.
yeah,
Then you hook it up to like head banging, screaming alternative music, and then it's all scattered and crazy.
right,
That's what
Chaotic.
right.
Yeah, that's what sound can do, and how important it is, the effect it has on the human body.
Yeah,
And then when you magnify that and you condense that down, it can kill you
Mhm.
Jeez,
and destroy everything in its path.
it can kill you.
And if you're not right in the path of it, you can't even hear it or see it. That's how concentrated it is. This weapons.
And it sounded like the weapons that he was seeing were definitely similar to that.
Yeah,
We're
and like I
talking
said,
we're talking about sound, and you were talking about classical music. And I just sent this to somebody today. It's a short thing. Don't worry, I'm not going to occupy too much. Scientists find Beethoven's Fifth Symphony destroys 20% of cancer cells versus when no music is played, and it leaves healthy cells unaffected.
Huh.
So I could send that to y'all if you want to read
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Our technology needs to head in that direction. Sound and electricity and everything else. And medical.
Sound therapy, you know,
Yeah.
like bowls and everything else. But I found that extremely interesting that the, you know, classical music has been shown to do this. That's pretty amazing.
Right.
And they say to play classical music around your pets, too.
And plants.
So I guess I need to turn off the AC/DC and turn on some Mozart to stay healthy. Highway to Hell versus.
Well, Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Right.
And he was a
Right.
genius.
Yep.
He was probably an alien, frankly.
Oh, he said he talked to him
Yeah.
for sure.
But yep. So
He was at least a starseed, and I think this man who is doing this regression
is too.
definitely a
Oh, yeah. Yep. So for this very last clip, I'm playing it because I find it very interesting. I think it's a really good example of how people can have contact and be taken without really remembering being taken. I think it's a really good example. It breaks it down to exactly how it could happen. So if you remember in the last part of that clip, he moved to when he was a little boy. He sees the lights in his room. He's looking out the window. So this next part talks about where he sees the craft and going outside to look at it.
Well, I thought I'd be in the backyard, but it seems to be out in the middle of the street, out front, which just strikes me as strange. Looks like there's some kind of craft that's landed right in the middle of the street in front of our driveway, like a small, almost cone-shaped kind of ship, not real wide, but some lights flashing. Staring at it out the window.
There is anything else you notice?
It's weird because there's light, but a lot of the ship seems dark, like it's not even lighting up. It seems kind of weird. It's like it's a strobe light, almost like hypnotizing me. You know, like it's making my eyes flash again.
Making your eyes flash again?
Twitch, like I'm seeing that.
Then what happens next?
I feel like it's just like it's almost like the light is like drawing me outside. Like I open the front door, go out to it.
So you go up to the craft?
Yeah, I think so.
So what happens when you go up to the craft?
It's like I don't see any beings. It's almost like feels like it's almost like a drone or something. Like it opens up. It's real dark. I'm just sort of in this weird hypnotic state, and I don't know if I float in or if I walk in, but it's like I just feel like I went into it, like it's a little shuttle pod or something.
Okay, so you're in there now. Now what happens?
It's dark. I feel like we're moving. Dark.
Yeah, a lot of that sounds pretty classic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For some reason, that light seems to almost, like he said, he was in a hypnotic state. It draws you. and we hear this from so many people, that, some say, I don't know why I went out. I should know better. But they do. They go to it. So.
But
And a
there
lot of
again,
people. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, just see there again, but like Dina, you talked about, we don't have a choice. And some people have a problem with that.
Well, a lot of people that I've heard talk about their experiences over the years, I find this common, and I myself also have this, where we see them from a distance and then we're there, in there, but there's not a lot of recollection as to how you got there or how you got back home. Like I can't say I ever remember walking up and walking into something. I was just here and then there and then back home again. And that seems to be real common. And that's kind of what I'm hearing him say in a way.
Right. But oftentimes they say, and I believe he has said this in previous regressions, that he is here for a certain reason. He's here for this role and agreed to do all of this before even entering this body. So, even if we think it's against our will, it's part of our role that most likely we've agreed to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I hope there's kind of a mutual agreement there,
I don't know why anybody would sign up for it. I'm sorry.
But many
signing up to come back and have that.
Many, including him, have not always lived a human life on this planet.
That's probably all of us, though.
Yeah.
That very well could be. So, there's a reason that we come to this planet in this body. The brain doesn't know, but the consciousness does.
Well, this body survives better here.
I got to think about that one.
Well, like I said, I heard that this guy that's pretty, he's pretty famous about knowing about the Greys. He says they make contracts, and if you make a contract 3-4 lifetimes before, it still holds today. So.
Well, even working in the spiritual field that I've been in for more years than I even want to admit.
Yeah.
We always had this knowing that we're here for a reason, that we chose this lifetime, this family, we're here for a certain role or certain roles. So why can't that be a part of it?
I'm not saying it can't. I just don't understand. I mean, everything feels like you're sacrificing yourself for something else in that respect. Well, I'm going to go back and do it this way so I can have this happen, so I can live my life and get all these things that happen to me that I don't know. That's hard. That's a hard one for me to.
Yeah. And my opinion, my feelings on this is not so individual. It's more like we're here for the betterment of the whole.
I'm sure we probably are, but you're still an individual as part of a whole. So I hope you retain some of your individuality, because not all of us are the same.
Well, I mean, as a medium, we know that, when we connect with spirit, that person has the same personality.
Spirit is one thing. This is a little different.
Spirit is consciousness.
Well, yes, but are those people choosing to eventually? I mean, at what point are you choosing that? See, you could get into a whole conversation with that. I don't know. I just have a weird.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one.
Yeah.
In my mind, everything that's alive, whether it's a human being, a dog, some alien on some distant planet, or whatever, anything that has life in it, It's all the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all the same one thing.
True.
It's just splintered into a gajillion different little parts to have all these experiences.
But not every dog, every cat, every plant, every person is the same in some respect.
No, the plant's
Well,
not like a dog.
molecules and
No,
the big
But it's
scheme of
alive.
it.
but the essence of what it is all the same, because we're not our bodies. Our bodies are just vehicles.
Well, I understand that part.
Yeah.
But I still have me in here, and y'all know me. I'm I don't know. I have to think of that one.
Yeah, that's right.
We all bring a unique perspective because we've all had different lives and different experiences in different bodies. That's the whole point of being here and doing this. So we can all have these different experiences. You have experiences I haven't had. But that doesn't mean that you and I aren't the same thing. It just means you
and
had
I
a different
do
experience.
understand that. I just don't buy certain aspects of it. That's just me.
Yeah.
A song I
What do
wrote.
you say about opinions?
Everybody's got one.
Yeah. I wrote a song and I said, everything alive has a soul and everything that breathes plays a role.
Yeah.
And I think you're very, very correct on that.
Yeah.
But that's a really great thing to hear, that we're all going to do this for the greater good. But man, we got a long way to go, don't we?
Yeah. We are the greater good.
We've been doing this since the dawn of time or whatever it's been, and we keep regurgitating that, and we're doing it over and over and over again. When does it end?
Well, it's just like, because we're on a certain plane, we need to raise that up, and I think it's happening. And I think all of us are here to try to raise that up until we can become one with everything. I mean, that's the goal, I think. But
every timeline is a little different. Maybe we just keep jumping from one timeline to the next. Like when I go to sleep here for the last time in my life, maybe I wake up in a different timeline and I don't even realize that I was ever born or died. I'm just in that next life.
Right.
And just keep skipping over.
We all have free will, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that.
Well, I know I skipped into the wrong timeline. I went out.
I'm salty. I'm a salty person today.
Me too. I'm always that way.
But
On that salty note, that's all we have for tonight.
Sorry.
Thank
Put
you
some
to
sugar on.
watching, to you guys and the person that was regressed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Too.
night.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
We're the voices of experiencers, and we are the experiencers of extraterrestrials. Just what's out there in the abyss, in the darkness of the unknown. It's time for disclosure and it's time for truth, because what lies in the darkness brings powerful transformation. We're the bridge between two different worlds, with one foot in this reality and one in the next. The shift is here, along with profound integration. Just who are extraterrestrials and what are their plans? It's time to find out with the Voices of Contact.